Okay, guys, here we are. I was recording how to cut the belt in on this guy, and guess what? The camera stopped working. So we got the belt cut in, kind of. So I used the V tool, micro, and cut it through there. Like that. Like that. And there's our belt buckle. So now we have to come back and bring our jacket line below the belt buckle. Sounds like my son is home. You can hear the music from in here. So we cut that like that. That brings the belt out. We'll do the same thing here. We'll undercut the belt like that. Then we'll undercut the belt buckle like that. See? Then we'll have to do the same thing here with the belt buckle. We want to bring our belt so it looks like it's going underneath of it. So we're just going to undercut that a little bit like that. And see if a longer knife will help us any. We're getting feet in our way here. And here, we're going to do that three-way cut. The chip cut. See? Come down this side. Come down this side. And then take the end of your knife and pop that chip out. That'll make your belt buckle look like it's standing out more. Somebody ought to arrest that guy for noise pollution. I don't know what he's listening to, but not my kind of music. Sounds like rap music. Okay, then we're going to try doing the same thing on the top here. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this knife blade, guys, when I'm dragging it like that. So there's very little possibility that it's going to jump out of my hand and get me. See, we're doing that three-way cut again. And then we're going to, if I can get the knife blade in there, we're going to pop that chip out of there. Oh boy, that is tight. There we go. Chips out. I want to do it on this side too. We're coming in alongside the belt. 1, up the belt buckle. 2, and then chip. And then chip. 3, bigger chip than I wanted. But it is what it is. Now, what we want to do is try getting in there and do the same thing. A little bit tricky because we're lacking room here. We are just coming in and we're just trying to take that belt down, take that material from the jacket away from the belt itself. It's tight in there. Ooh boy, I don't know. I don't even think I can get my wood burner in there. That's how tight that is. But basically all you're doing is you're making a mark for yourself when you go to paint this guy. I know what. When you go to paint this guy, you're just leaving yourself a raised area to paint, so it gives you basically guidelines. I don't know if this is going to help us or not. This is a cut saw, or not cut saw, I'm sorry. This is a flex cut gouge. It's round. Instead of the other one we were using was a cut saw V tool. We're just going to pull some light cuts out of here. We can come back in with our little sander tool and get rid of these groove marks. But at least it's letting us get down to our belt. I don't know if we're going to be able to get away with it on this side. Yeah, it's letting us pull it off, guys. See, I should have planned this out a little bit better, because I could have moved that belt. Could have moved the belt down a little bit to get in there. So I've got some small diamond burrs that'll fit in my Dremel, and they're flat. They're like a little diamond disc deal that we can get in there and flatten that out with. Let me see if I can find one here, right here. So check that out. It's an inverted cone, but we use this end because it's also got diamonds on it. We can use it to get in here, and actually we use it just like this. Sand them those little ridges off that our gouge put in there. Yep, you don't have to, I guess any way you can make a tool work is the way you use it, right? And the nice thing about that inverted cone deal is now we can get up underneath that belt a little bit. Okay, it looks like we need to take off a little bit more right here. And this guy's coat. Take off a little bit off his coat up to our buckle. Like that. That's why we leave everything just a little bit big, in case you want to add things, embellishment, shall we say. See? It looks like we need to take a little bit off this jacket anyway, because you can see there's a flat spot right here. And you guys know how I feel about flat spots. See, I'm not worried about making this belt buckle perfect or anything. This is a caricature. Caricature. Say that 5 times fast. Caricature, caricature, caricature. There we go. Now this belt's sticking out really good. This guy makes me want to carve a Yosemite Sam character. That may be next on our list. I really want to carve another Grinch. I want to give somebody a Grinch for Christmas. So maybe we'll carve a Grinch and then another Grinch. Different style though. I hate doing the same thing twice unless somebody really wants one. Oh, there goes the dog. Dog gets very upset when her family leaves the house. She loses her little doggy mind. I'll go in there later and she'll be all happy to see me like I've been gone 100 years. It's funny because she almost sounds like a coyote. That dog has a lot of different barks. The one you don't want to hear is that really deep bark. That means somebody's about to ready to get chewed up. German Shepherd with lots of teeth. Big pointy teeth that dog's got. I know I'm the one that plays with her, so she has nipped me a couple times. Not on purpose, she was just playing. I took her toy away from her, like one of the rope ball things, and she went to get it, and I was too slow and she was too fast, and her teeth met my fingers. No joy there, people. No joy there. Having a German Shepherd hanging on your arm is no joy. Whether she meant it or not, it's still no fun. Okay. So I think that's got our belt buckle and our little belt there. And then we did the belt on the back. I recorded it, but I didn't record it. But what do you mean, Rob? Well, for some reason, it seems like my SD card gets full and it doesn't tell you that the camera turned off. Normally you'll hear some kind of notification like bing or bong or bleh, something like that to let you know that your camera switched off, but this just goes away. So there's our guy. I think that's all the carving we need to do on him. I think I've been sanding them and everything, so I think tomorrow he'll be ready for paint. But I just wanted to bring you guys back and boy, that knife is getting dull. Just wanted to bring you guys back and show you how to apply a belt. I'm sure you've already figured it out, but there's beginning carvers that need to know these techniques. So I'm more than willing to show you guys. He's willing to show you guys. Yes. That's why we sit here and carve. No, we carve because we love to carve. We just turned the camera on to let you guys see us carve. So that's it for this, guys. That's it for this guy, guys. We will paint him and then we'll show you what he looks like when he's all painted. If you guys are interested in the painting part, please leave me a comment. Otherwise, I just figure nobody wants to see me paint. Probably more got better things to do. I can honestly say I've never been called a painter until recently when I started making these little guys. The only thing I've ever painted was cars. And then I started doing these little guys, and I talked my mom into painting them all for me. Because she's the painter. She's the painter in the family. And then she sat me down one day and said, you know, I think it's time you learned how to paint, son. So like, okay, Mom, teach me how to paint. She did. Took a woman's got the patience of a saint, I can tell you that, because usually when I paint something, I end up more painted than what it is I'm painting. Basically, when you're painting, it's a lot of patience. Because you paint, I'm cutting that lower lip down a little bit. It's a little bit large. When you paint, you gotta do one color and then let it dry. Then do the next color and let it dry. Believe me, I learned the hard way. If you don't do it that way, you end up with green paint and your red paint, and your white paint, and white paint all over the place. So you just have to have patience and a hairdryer or a heat gun. Because I use all water-based paints. Whatever I get at Walmart or Dollar Tree or wherever. So I use water-based paints. And I water my water-based paints down because I like to see the wood grain through the paint. So it dries pretty quick. And when I water my paint down, I don't just use straight water. I use water with a little fantastic in it. Yeah, I'm going back and fixing up some hairs here. While I'm yada yada blah 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 and yapping at the camera. I'm pushing them all the way up under there to the nose. Like that. See, I always seems like I can never just leave anything alone. I always got to play with it. Cars, trucks. I get a truck and first thing I'm doing is putting different stuff on it, running boards and that kind of stuff. Just can't leave things alone the way they are. Of course, for me, the running boards are mostly a necessity. Okay, I think that's a wrap on this guy. I think we're going to call him Billy Claus. Santa Claus's poor brother. Couldn't afford the reindeer. Couldn't afford the sled. Couldn't hire no elves. You know, just that this poor guy just had a run of bad luck. And meanwhile, Santa's got it all up there at the North Pole. He's got the wife, and he's got the reindeer. He's even got a reindeer with a red nose. The only red nose this guy gets is out of a bottle of moonshine. All right, so I'll probably do a little hand sanding on them. Get some of these scuffs out of them from the different tools we've been using, and that'll be it for him. I got a thing for a deer. Maybe I should give him a reindeer. You know, put a little leash in his hand to a reindeer or something. I don't know. We'll see. So there he is. Easy project. Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends and neighbors. And, yeah, just carve. Do something awesome. Carve something awesome. Make every day count.